just because I needed to make sure that you know what I mean, like everything was like I had time to even do it, whatever. So I had to look back at the invite, whatever. I found it and I was like, oh, okay, all right, yeah, I'm gonna just tell her I'm gonna make wings, whatever, because that's, you know what I mean, I make good wings. And but you saying I'm the only person that told you
what they're bringing, yeah.
So
and I know motherfuckers is coming, but they're probably just gonna tell me last minute.
So all right, so this is the thing though. So this is kind of like a potluck, whatever. So like essentially, right? You know what I mean? I know it's Friendsgiving, but like the problem is like people don't be bringing like enough like meat, like you know what I mean, pause, exactly. But like I mean, it'll just be all sides. So it's gonna be like my wings and then all sides, like, you know what I mean?
No. So that's why I wanted people to tell me what they're bringing. I'm gonna tell them. I forget what, or I think I put a random date. I think I put Tuesday or something, and I'm gonna see what they're bringing, because then I'm gonna say what I'm gonna make. You know what I mean? I can figure out what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. What can you make?
I'm a cooker.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
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 Oh, let me find.
Why? People be surprised.
No, I'm not surprised. I didn't say I was surprised. I'm like, oh snap! Like that just added a whole layer to you, girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I know how to cook. I might not always like to cook, depending on my mood, but I definitely know how to cook.
Okay, so is there gonna be like, is somebody gonna make like either turkey or ham or roast pork, like pernil or something? Is somebody gonna be responsible for that, or is this like, we don't know, fried chicken, like at least like?
I don't know, but I'm gonna make sure there's more than just your chicken wings.
I was about to say, yeah, because that's like.
But Shayla's Shayla, she's not a vegan, but she don't eat beef. She only eats chicken, and like, so she would probably bring chicken too, to be honest. So
okay,
that's Kimmy's sister.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, okay.
So
that's what's up. So did you watch this episode?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
Did you see what I sent you?
On
Instagram, that lady that was on the Kendra G show?
No, wait up. Which one you sent it to? No,
I don't never send that into your personal account. I always send it to it.
To it? The only thing I got from you was like, is it just me, or are these answers unrealistic?
No, okay. Before you sent me that weird homie one, I sent you something.
Oh, you can become dangerous when you learn how to control your feelings.
Yeah, but you got to click on it and read the slot, I think it's like a brief overview. It's like pictures and random memes and stuff. And I said, we have to talk about this. I know you're lost, but just look at the pics and the caption, and I'll tell you the story when we record. So we can do it towards the end or the beginning, whatever you do.
Okay. I know you're lost. I know you're lost, but you just have to look. Okay. All right. We'll get it. All right. We can get into that. All right. Let's get started. Hey, yo, what it is and what's good, y'all? Welcome back to 280 Plus, the social media podcast where I take the conversations off the timeline and go beyond the tweets. I'm your host, Los Def, and I'm here with my co-host, Jonni Sue. And we are here to cover another episode of Suburban Screams by John Carpenter, and we are on episode 4. So we only got after this week, we only got 2 more episodes to cover, so 2 more episodes of recaps. Currently, I'm doing recap and record with my boy Levi, and we doing F-Boy Island, and that's been really fun. So like my regular 280 Plus content, it's been kind of secondary, like it ain't going away, but you can catch us like for these recaps every week. We're on YouTube. I just put the last episode on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well. So if you want like an audio adventure and hear us talking about some stuff, you can do that too. You can partake. So it's like we're not missing a beat at all here on 280 Plus. We giving you content with just get a little bit different flavors. You know what I mean? Trying to step into some different stuff.
Trying to spice it up.
Yeah, trying to spice it up. And even like horror, that's not even a genre that I necessarily watch too often. But I do like it. I would say this. I have a question for you because I was just thinking about this. So. And because my son just started like expressing some interest in horror, and then we started watching a movie series, and I'll get into it. But I would say for you, like, I mean, you like Halloween, you like horror. Like, as a parent, what is like a good appropriate age when you should like introduce them to horror, or like what are the boundaries you would say?
I don't think it's a specific age. I think it has to do with your child and how scared they get. because I noticed my daughter, she likes Scooby Doo, and she's only 4, but she likes Scooby Doo. But then I would notice when she would watch it more, she would wake up in the middle of the night crying. So I was like, no, you can't watch
Oh,
Scooby Doo. So it'd be to the point now she's like, Mommy, I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I can watch it. No, because like I don't think she's scared visually watching it, but she has nightmares about it. So I feel
uh,
like you just gotta pay attention to your kids. I don't think it's a specific age. If they can handle it, they can handle it. Because I
okay.
like scary stuff at a young age. So
Okay. How old were you when you was watching
I might have
stuff?
been like 7.
Okay. Well, and what was your introduction to horror? What was it? What was it?
I
Like
don't
Chucky?
know
Was
my
it
introduction
Chucky
to
or
horror.
something? Or yeah, I mean, like I don't know, because
No,
like
I don't.
so like me, my age, I remember watching Chucky when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I don't know, like probably Michael Myers, like Halloween, Scream. I
right.
was a
I
kid.
watched.
Like Scream came out in '96. I was like 8 years old, probably. Like you know what I mean?
Hmm. But see, with our generation, we had cable. Well, we still got cable, but a lot of people don't use it. But we had cable, so it's like we had specific channels dedicated to that. So like I would watch sci-fi, I would watch,
Okay,
maybe suspense type of horror on Oxygen and stuff like that. I
okay,
can't
okay,
remember. FX had a lot of horror stuff on there too.
okay.
So I used to just watch all that. I didn't care.
Oh, okay, okay. So my son, so I mean, I'm like I said, I'm not too big into horror. I don't think a lot of this stuff is like too scary. Like I need jump scares, I need slashing, killing. Like the spirit stuff don't really, I mean, like paranoid. It don't do it for me, or the stuff that be about exorcisms and so I don't
So
know.
you
It's
mean it
it's
don't do it for you, like you're not interested, or it doesn't scare you?
I think a little bit of both. Like all right, for example, the Paranormal Activity movie, right? I'm like, all right, this is clearly fake. Like, you know what I mean? It's clearly,
Right.
you know what I mean? So it's like I can't watch a movie where it's like basically, we're watching a movie through a camera lens, you know what I'm saying? And like weird stuff is moving around and I'm supposed to be scared. Like I that didn't I mean, but also there's not much of an interest, like whatever, because I think
Yeah.
yeah, like we talked about like the spiritual stuff, whatever. So like,
See, I think for me, it's not much of an interest, but I really get scared because I'm like I believe in God, but I also believe in like spirits and stuff like that. So the realness of that part, I feel like that's more real than Texas Chainsaw Massacre and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
well, there
So
was a guy
I
though.
know,
I
but for
mean,
some odd reason, you just don't. It's like, okay, maybe it's the setting the environment we grew up in. That's not something we didn't grow up in the farmland
true,
where it's
true,
like 5 houses apart. So
true.
the thing that would be more real to us is having spirits in your house, and these are old ass houses and stuff that you're staying in. So I
Yeah.
feel like that was more real to me. And as an overthinker, mm-mm.
See, but
So I
I
don't like
think
demonic stuff. I don't.
See, but I
I'm sorry.
think the spirits and stuff like that, like they not on Queen Street. You know what I'm saying? Like they are like in Wyndham Hills. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I mean? Like
No, they
yeah,
probably
like
are.
like you know what I mean? Like they not in the projects. Like they are in some like single family home in the suburbs, like suburban screams type stuff
Think
like that.
as much murder as in the city, if there's spirits, it's gonna be spirits in them damn apartments and stuff.
Yeah, but it's gonna be too much to where it's like they're not trying to mess with everybody. Cause like, think about like apartments and stuff like that. So many tenants go in and out of these places, whatever. Like, spirits ain't they probably looking
Yeah,
at it like, oh, man, you ain't mean no harm. You know what I mean? You ain't mean maybe the landlord, I'm gonna get his ass, or you know what
yeah,
I mean, somebody that got some bad karma, but like I don't know. But
yeah.
so that's
Like
but
Insidious and stuff. Mm-mm. I can't. Like even the music in Insidious scares me, and I like I told you, I like watched horror growing up, and I would not be scared. But once they start coming out with Insidious, that music and all that demonic stuff, oh no, I'd be
yeah.
scared.
Well, all right. So this is where I'm leading into this though. So my favorite, and some people don't even consider it horror, but it is crazy to me though. But my favorite is like it's probably Saw. Like Saw is is crazy,
Yeah,
like whatever. So and like people are just like, like that's not really horror, but it's like it's gruesome a little bit.
it's
It's a
gory.
thriller, gory. So that's what I said to my son. I said, well, all right, we can watch because he's like, I want to watch something. I said, well, all right, I don't know what to pick. I was like, you know what? Let's watch Saw because I feel like it's it is gory, but it's fake enough to where like I think my son understands that it is fake, like and like some of
Right,
this stuff is a little bit impossible to happen. But
right.
and I tell him too, like how like I feel like when I was watching horror, like whatever adults I was watching it with, they was like, oh, don't close your eyes, like don't hide, whatever. Like, but I tell him, I'm like, yo, if it's too much for you, because sometimes it's too much for me. Like, I'm
Right.
like, I'm like, you can close your eyes, man, or you can look away. Like, you don't have to like suffer or whatever. Cause I'm like just the different challenges and they cutting these. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm just like clenching and stuff like that. So we watched like 3 of them already. So we're gonna go through the whole series.
Oh
And
wow. I
yeah.
I never was into Saw that much. Like I watched a couple of them, but I can't even tell you which ones I watched.
Oh my god, yo, the we just watched the third one. Third one is like the best one, like because
Which one is that?
that's the one where they got to do brain surgery on him. You know what I'm saying? So like
Mm-hmm.
basically, he has that one shorty that's kind of like his protege, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And
And she was
so
one of the victims at first,
yeah,
right?
yeah, she was one of
Okay.
the victims. So this was the first time where like, all right, they kidnapped the doctor, whatever, and because she got her own bad karma, because basically that's what Saw is about. It's like bad karma. Like if you do some
Right.
bad shit out there, he gonna come and get you and make you appreciate life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So the bigger picture, I like it. But yeah, so he kidnaps her, and then they're like, all right, yo, we got this other guy has to go through these challenges, whatever. And he was basically, it was funny because like he didn't really pass any challenge. Like he was just letting these motherfuckers die. But basically, he was a dad who his child was like the victim of like a drunken driver or something like that. So like as he had to like face like the killer, the judge, a witness, whatever that did
Mm-hmm.
not do anything to help him. Well, his wife is the doctor, and like you don't know that, whatever. And then like when they cross paths, the whole time the challenge was for his protege, because it was like could she save a life, whatever. But like he knew that she like could possibly get jealous because she was jealous of the doctor, whatever. But anyway, she does some type of brain surgery on this dude to like keep him alive. And it was just like crazy how it all plays out, because and you think that he dies and you're like but I know there's a 4 and there's a 5, and like so I'm kind of forgetting like some of the things
Yeah. Which
because it was so
movie is
old.
it where he's dead, but they like recovered tapes? Like the protege comes into play more. Which one is that?
So I haven't. There's a couple that I haven't seen, and I didn't see that one where Chris Rock is like the detective, where it's called Spiral. I didn't see that one, so that
Okay.
might be. I know Spiral was involved with like looking back into some stuff, so that might be the one. But yeah, so this is like kind of taking me back. Like
Yeah, you're
three,
making me want to watch it.
yeah, 3 came out in 2006. I graduated in 2006. So like I was like, okay, I really remember 3. Like 3 was like
Right.
I remember the first 3 for sure. And then, 4, 5, if there's 6, I
Yeah,
don't
it
even know.
gets
It gets
shaky.
a little bit shaky.
Which one's the one with the bathroom? Because that's the one I remember
The
the
first
most.
one, the first one.
Oh, okay.
That's the first one. Yeah, that's crazy. And like I just like, yeah, the first 3 definitely tie into each other. Like they try to,
Yeah.
and
After
I
that, you
yeah, I think they go a little bit off
yeah, a
the
little off
rails.
course.
Yeah. So he's watching that, and like, I've had some people like kind of like, oh, I don't know how you let your kid watch that. And I'm like, all right, see, that's why I don't tell people about my shit I
So I
do.
don't tell people my business.
Yeah, that's why I tell motherfuckers about business. Like, so, but like I said, I think he's mature enough. He's 9 years old, but he's mature enough to understand that it is not real. And
Right.
I never seen any ideation. Like he don't like be killing animals or nothing like that. Like he don't have like the no ideations of like weird violence or nothing like that. So like I feel safe that like, all right, he's not gonna get no ideas, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean, to do this weird shit. But I don't know.
See,
So
that never even crosses my mind as a parent because you know your child. So I feel like the only thing that crosses your mind would really be like if they're going to be scared or not, not if they're like, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Because
So
I mean, at 9, you would probably see signs way before 9, way before 7, if it
yeah.
was a
Yeah,
little
there was
off
like
course.
I ain't showing you none of this. I ain't show you. I'm keeping all the sharp objects tucked
Yeah,
away.
that's
Like
somebody that probably should have already been in therapy. Somebody shout at.
bags, bags, bags. So all right, so let's get into this episode. This episode is called Bunny Man, right? The Bunny Man. And actually, I am gonna talk a little bit about last episode. So we talked about that the house next door. And one of the stories that I told was about this lady from our hometown, and we just knew her as Miss Hooker or Mrs. Hooker. And I wanted people to comment to kind of give me some information, but like just if they remembered. And I did get on
A
different.
couple comments.
I got some
Mhm.
comments on Facebook. I got some comments on Instagram, and people do remember her. And it was kind of surprising because there's an age gap of the people that remembered her. So I was like, yo, she really is like like whatever she, you know what I mean, her story, which nobody actually knows her story for sure, but it was like an
Damn, I
urban.
thought somebody was going like you was going to say somebody inboxed you and told you what's up with her or
Well,
something.
so I did learn why her house looked the way it did, like with the red, because it was like red spray paint. Well, so I knew a girl that lived like across the street. She said that she went into the house one time because her granddaughter was there, and I'm like, she had a granddaughter? Like, who even knew that? Nobody knew she had no relative. Like, I didn't know she had a
Right.
relative, and she said that like she went in there and like really the lady is harmless, but like since like the lady knew that people were scared of her, so she kind of liked it. Like she kind maybe she didn't want to be bothered with people. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and apparently she had some type of breakdown one day, and that's when she went crazy with the spray paint on her
Mm-hmm.
house. Like she was like her, it looked like her house was vandalized. Like that's
Right.
how rickety it was. And then I did have another guy that he said that, oh yo, one time that he was like saying stuff about her, and then his mom like checked him and was like, yo, don't you be talking about Mrs. Hughes, whatever. And he's like, after that I never called her Mrs. Hooker again. And I was like, so
Oh,
she got a name, like she got a name,
yeah.
like, yeah, I
Yeah, I
mean,
was
like,
bullying that lady.
so I don't know. So but like, yeah, like it's the fact that a lot of people knew to like I said, we turned away, like we walked away, we didn't fuck with her, like I didn't fuck with her, like, but there were
Right.
people that did, but fuck no, like she was, and it was just that urban legend. So that's what this episode 4 is all about, this urban legend and how stories like this kind of take a turn for the worse, and how these things kind of stay alive through generations and generations. Right. So this bunny man story, right, it takes place in Fairfax, Virginia, right, which is a suburb of DC. And they said that the original story, what it took place like maybe like hundreds of years ago or something like that, where it was like a, let me pull up my notes real quick just so I don't fuck this up. So there was a, oh, the legend. All right. So it says a farmer in Fairfax 100 years ago, believed to be possessed. He was speaking in strange tongues, right? So like the local pastor or priest went to go kind of check him out, and he's like watching them, and he's seeing them speak these weird tongues. He's
Yeah.
he's drinking cow blood. And then basically they found out that he stole the cow. So back in the day, and even probably today, that's like a crime. So I mean, I don't know, rural ass crime, right?
Right.
So they locked him up, and he vowed to get revenge on the town. So somehow he escaped prison, and then he's kind of like out on the lam, like in the woods, and something happened where I guess there were some kids that were lost, and these kids came up missing, and they were hung by this bridge. And they also said that this guy, he skinned a lot of rabbits, and that's how he kind of survived, like by eating rabbits or whatever. So like that's kind of like the overview of how it was, but then it like evolved, whatever, and it kind of came back to life like in the 70s. So I don't know if you want to kind of take it away a little bit and what you remember, but I can keep going, but like, yeah, so like then it evolved into something else, right?
Yeah, it kind of evolved into like him wearing this bunny. It was like a bunny hat, but it was like a sack. It wasn't, it was like those brown burlap sack bags. And it looked like bunny ears and stuff. But I think because I actually looked it up, like the real story, it is a real story.
Okay.
And I think he actually was wearing a bunny hat. But so he basically terrorized the town. And there was like a couple in a car, they was doing that whole making out thing. And what did he do? He like busted out the windows
Yeah.
and they stayed. What did they left the car and they stayed. I don't know if they just slept in the junk, like not the jungle,
The woods.
yeah, the woods. They slept in the woods, and then in the morning you just see them going back to the car. The man is trying to start the car. The woman doesn't get in the car yet because she's like, I don't know if this man is coming back. If he can't
Yeah.
start the car, I gotta go.
Yeah.
And it is important to note that there was like a bunny head, a severed bunny head in the on the hanging on the rear view mirror. So he finally starts the car. She gets in the car to drive off. Then there was another incident with like a security guard,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
um, I don't know exactly what the security guard was guarding. I think it was just like a house that was being built.
Okay. Okay.
and he sees the bunny man, chopping at the house, and he like tries to stop him, and he has a gun, and for some odd reason the bunny man like comes and takes his car and steals it, and then that was that. But they
Yeah. Yeah.
basically say how he was like terrorizing the town.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you, I was a little confused that because we do see how, in the beginning it tells us in the episode that there was three kids hung by the bridge.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
then later on in the episode, we see three kids going trespassing the guy's house, and he essentially kills them. So are those the same kids, or?
I think perhaps maybe that was like a dramatization or like a reenactment of kind of how it went down. But like what they made it seem like was those first initial three kids that were hung. Like they made it seem like that was just a little bit more of an ancient story, whatever. And then like so
Mm-hmm.
it seems like there must have been somebody that almost was copying this
Yeah.
legend, whatever, you know what I mean? And that's the thing with this. That's why this story was a little bit muddy, because it's a lot of people hearing the same things, whatever. And then like you got this idea of like there's copycats, people they hear about something and they just kind of gravitate towards it, and they use that to scare people. So I don't know. So yeah, I think there was a little bit of like hearsay and mixed stories in this one. So it was a little bit weird though. But yeah,
Yeah.
you're right though. Like I don't know if those were the kids or not.
Right. And then there was that incident where it was like kind of like a party by the bridge. It was like an
Yeah,
outside party, kind of like what are those called when they have that big old fire,
bonfire.
bonfires.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it's kind of like that. And so the two girls are talking, and they're like, "Hey, isn't that such and such? He's so weird. Wasn't he in a bunny costume last year?" So they're
yeah,
thinking this is like a weird classmate. So the one girl goes over and starts dancing with him. And then the other girl is standing there just watching, laughing. And then the weird classmate in the actual bunny costume comes up, and he's talking to her, and he takes off his hat, and she's like, and then she goes, she's looking at her friend that's dancing with this actual bunny man. And then they see the axe in his hand, and then they start running.
yeah, yeah.
So, but I don't, what was your thoughts?
Well, that was weird because like yes, it would be terrifying, you know what I mean, to like you assume that this is your friend, this is somebody that you know, whatever, and then like no, actually this is the real bunny man that like is about to kill us, whatever. And I just thought like for as this is a legend of this person, like he must really not be trying to kill nobody, you know what I'm saying, whatever, because like I feel like all them people should have been dead, like in that instant, whatever. Like,
Right.
but they all kind of got away.
But I
I
don't, I feel like that was part of dramatic purposes, because when I looked it up, it's funny though, because you can look up a lot of things, but when I looked it up, it was interesting because one of the sites that came up was a government site. It says .gov.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
it makes it seem like this was like there was actually a man in a bunny costume that was killing people. Like the bodies would pop up. They
yeah,
don't know who killed it, but they do know this bunny man is, running around the
yeah,
community.
yeah.
So in a in a sense, I think he kind of was real, but they just don't know what to pin on him.
No, yeah, I did look up something. It was fairfaxcounty.gov, and like they had a bunch of like different like kind of
Yeah.
connected stories, whatever. And like I said, I think that this legend got so big that people were able to almost hide their, like if they were trying to do something crazy or if they were
Mm-hmm.
trying to be weird, they knew that they could kind of, oh, I could be Bunny Man, like you know what I mean,
Right.
and like then I could kind of conceal myself, and then people are gonna think, what I mean, they're gonna think all different type of stuff, and like it's just gonna get people worked up and in hysteria. So like yeah, but there was a lot of different like stories, but I don't think these are all the same people though either. You know what I
That
mean?
is true. But there is really kids that died.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's just like, what is the chances of like a somebody in a budding costume hopping or like just randomly going around the community, but actually not doing anything, not committing any crimes?
yeah. I know, and that's the thing too, because like all these like some the ones that we saw that were dramatized, like yeah, except for maybe the kids, he doesn't actually kill them, like he doesn't
Right.
have a chance to, and but the interesting part though of this was just the fact that yeah, it's kids and it's teenagers that keep these legends going, right? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I just relate to that because it's like, yeah, I don't know who the fuck gave this lady the name Mrs. Hooker, whatever, but like everybody knows her as that, you know. And like, cause
Mm-hmm.
I talked to my mom, I said, Mom, you remember that? She was like, yeah, I do remember that, but like she don't remember like what her name was supposed to be, whatever. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, so it was like, yeah, it was amongst kids, like, and it's word of mouth, and we're just telling each other and telling each, and like there was kids on there, like there was people, adults now, but commenting that like I know they live on different sides of town. So I'm like, oh, so this got around. Like
Yeah.
people knew about this lady, whatever. So
But
but
see, and that's also another thing because like so you're saying like rumors do start from like kids, but then it's like decades from now. You remember when that one Halloween, there was people walking around in clown and masks and they had like, weapons and stuff, and they were just standing and staring at people. I can see people from decades from now saying, "Oh, that's just a legend." And you know what I mean? Rather, the legend isn't that they were really doing that. Now we don't know if they like committed any crimes. That's the legend part. But
yeah.
they was really tormenting the community because they was just standing there staring at people like with
Well,
weapons in their hands and masks.
that was, remember, that was when it had came out again, like
Back
when they,
out, yeah.
yeah, when they remade it, whatever. So like, yeah, there was a weird obsession with like killer clown stuff, whatever. But yeah, you're right
Mm-hmm.
though. You're right. Um, so yeah, it does get muddy to where it's like, yo, like what's real, what's not real, and things like
Right.
that. Did you? I don't know, because like I said, I know you do research and stuff. Did you find any? Because I didn't look up any, but did you find any other like urban legends for like Pennsylvania, like our state, or do
I
you know of
didn't.
any other like, yeah, because like I don't know of any other like, not a killer or anything like that. Again, a scary lady that obviously didn't do anything to anybody that we know of. Like my,
Yeah. Well, we talked about Ray Myers Hollow
all
and
right,
the
my, okay,
whole
yeah,
urban
yeah,
legend about,
yeah,
witchcraft, and they thought the guy was doing voodoo and that's why they burned up his whole cabin that he was renting. So that's kind of an urban legend too.
yeah,
Um, I think that's all I can think of for real.
yeah. Yeah, so like this one, it felt like there wasn't really much of a conclusion, right? Like it just was like, all right, and the legend just continues of Bunny
Right.
Man, you know what I mean? So that kind of makes it a little bit creepy, in the sense of like, whoa,
The fact, but it's just
are you
like
gonna
the
stop
fact
this
that you
motherfucker?
look it up and that's a government site, like
Yeah,
there got to be some type of truth to that. They don't just have government sites for everything.
yeah. And well, one of the themes they were saying, and I guess the overarching theme was just this like resistance to change, right? Because Fairfax was this growing area in Virginia, where it was really suburbanizing this rural. It was a once rural area, and now they're building all these houses. So like you said, like he was chopping at this house. It would like they think that maybe it was just some person,
Some vigilante stuff.
yeah, some vigilante stuff, somebody that like lived in Fairfax when it was mostly rural and didn't like all this change, like didn't like all these different things. So like think about gentrification, right? Like you know what I mean? That could happen. I guess that could happen in an urban setting where somebody is forced out of their house or something like that, and they're putting up these nice, buildings, and then but somebody, starts on goes on a rampage to drive down property values and to like
That
keep
is true.
keep
Yeah.
the hood, you know what I'm saying? Like I
But that's
wonder.
something more modern because this looked like it was, especially, and the stuff that I was looking up when I seen it, it seemed like it was in the 70s, if it was in the 70s, or it
Yeah,
was in the early 1900s. So it's like you wouldn't even think that would be a thing back then.
yeah, you wouldn't think, but yeah, I guess it was though.
You know what? I'm thinking of another legend.
Uh-oh.
Seven Gates of Hell.
Well, yeah, what is that exactly?
The It's out by Central in New York, and
Okay.
it's basically like there were seven gates. I've never went there, but there were seven gates, and they say that at the top it used to be a sane asylum. So, and that they all got, it was like a fire or something, and they all got loose, and they just like, so like they say that the property is like a really big property, and they say that it's haunted, and there's
Yeah.
spirits all in there. Yeah.
Dang. Have you ever done like, you've done like the like, Field of Screams type stuff before?
Hmm.
So, I like last year I didn't do Field of Screams, I did Haunted Mill. And it's some jumps. I thought it was good because it wasn't busy. It was like late September, so it was like before like the rush of the season.
Right.
And I thought it was pretty good. but they were saying how they do like a no holds barred type, like an uncensored type one where like you pay them a lot more money, but like basically they kidnap you and like they're allowed to touch you and stuff like that, and like it's kind of weird. And I'm like, would you ever participate in anything like that? Like
No.
I couldn't do that. Like I don't
Are
touch
you
me, don't touch
talking
me.
about that one where there's like a waiting list and you gotta sign a waiver?
Yeah,
Or
you gotta
no?
sign. Yeah, you gotta sign
Yeah.
waivers and
And you
like
can win money, but they make sure nobody ever completes it to win money. They will take your teeth out and all of that. And there's been like
whoa, whoa,
ethical.
whoa, 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 whoa. Like
Yes.
physically take out your teeth.
Yes, because you signed like a really long waiver. I'm trying to figure out what it
Oh,
is.
see, yeah, I definitely need legal representation because you're not about to be fucking up my with my grippers. You know what I'm saying? Like my not my teeth, bro. Like you're not like what?
Figure out, hold on.
See, I knew that they could do certain things, but like I didn't think the waiver was. I thought it was like more so like, yo, you can't like call the cops on us for like trying to imprison you or kidnap you. I didn't know they could like hurt you.
Okay, yeah. The owner of McKamey Manor, the haunted house that will pay a guest $20,000 to survive a run through. Um, but he doesn't let anybody survive it, basically. So there's a waiting list. The waiting list is over 24,000 people, and it's a 10-hour experience.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a whole bunch of YouTubes on it, like documentaries on it and stuff. They can take out your teeth. They can it's torture. And so there's
Oh
always
yeah.
been ethical, like it poses ethical questions, but I don't know if nobody's just ever went against them because you would think like there's no waiver to go against the law, but
Well, I don't know. Like there might, I mean, there might be like certain things. Like if you could put yourself into certain situations. Like I would imagine, like when people get into like that BDSM type stuff, like that, like like when it gets to be pretty intense, they probably gotta
mm-hmm.
get waiver signed because it's like, yeah, you wanted me to do all this stuff to you in the name of pleasure. You know what I mean? So, but that's
That
weird.
is true, but is that not illegal?
Oh, now you making me. I don't know because I'm not into that. Like I'm not, I'm not that freaky. You know what I mean? I'm kind of
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Like when it comes to that, I'm kind of. I guess I'm kind of vanilla. Like if I don't do that, but yeah, no, I don't mess with that. So I don't know.
So apparently there's an article from October 13th that a 16-year-old died, leaving people shocked at McKamey Manor.
And this is in Pennsylvania? This is the
I'm not sure. I don't think
okay,
it's in
okay, okay,
Pennsylvania.
okay. See, that's wild. That's wild. The only other I'm trying to think of the only other like legend seems like now, like the current one that we keep hearing about, like just different cases, is that Lake Lanier in like
Oh
Georgia,
yeah.
like how
Do you
people
feel like
just
you believe it, or you feel like it's a
yeah, like yeah,
hell yeah?
it's too many people, but so yeah, that type of stuff I do like. All right, when so many things happen, it ain't a coincidence no more, and it's like,
Right.
and see, but I'm the type is like I'm not that type of person where because we talked about it earlier or another episode where we were talking about like, oh, do you have to see it to believe it? Yeah, to an extent, whatever. But like, if I keep hearing it, I don't need to see it to find out. Like I'm not gonna fuck around and find out. Like my fuck around and find out is low. Like you know what I mean? Like it's low. I'm on the whatever. If we doing a little chart, I'm not trying to. I'm not fucking around. So I'm not gonna find out. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll let y'all be the brave ones and be like, oh yeah, but yeah, like people, I guess people like this lake, this man-made lake in like near Atlanta or in Georgia, people like just drown and disappear all the
Famous people
time.
too, because that what's that? Big Sean's ex or something?
Yeah, 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 yeah. She
Yeah,
did. Yeah, she did die. That was there. That was Lake Lanier.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
Oh my god. Yeah, that's crazy. And she
yeah.
was yeah, she was the one that was on. Wasn't she the one that was on Glee?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
But see, okay, so like I found more information. It's in Tennessee.
Okay.
The longest anyone has lasted is about an hour. During the tour, employees of the manor may physically assault patrons, waterboard them, force them to eat and drink unknown substances, have them bound and gagged, and engage in other forms of physical and psychological torture. Participants may also be drugged during their experience. It's legal because basically the people that are subjecting themselves to the McKamey program or whatever you want to call it, they're doing so voluntarily.
All right. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you gonna put me through all this stuff like that, like are you ready to get punched in your fucking face? You know what I'm saying? Like because if I'm an active participant, then you an active participant, and you're gonna have to hurt, like if you gonna really hurt, like you're gonna have to hurt me to do drug me and waterboard me. Like how you getting me on the board? Like I'm just laying myself down so you could fake drown me. Fuck out of here. Like, no,
But
you gotta fuck
I've
me
never
up.
actually went to look on YouTube, but they said there's hours of like documentary like evidence of this stuff. And for their list to be that, their waiting list to still be that long while all this is out is crazy.
But
But
that's
I
what
mean, people will go to big lengths to win money, but I mean, they're
But that's what I'm
probably
saying. Like, if I gotta earn it, like you gotta earn it too. Like, if you know what I mean, like, so how can I survive? Yeah, that's why people only because it
and
sounds
there is
like
a safe word. There's a safe word that you can say to get out of it, but
yeah, I want yeah. What's they safe word? Where they like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know, I'm
but
sorry.
I don't understand how that's legal because
Yeah.
you see cases all the time where people like assist other people with suicide and they get charged. Like,
Well, because euthanasia is not it's not legal in every state, like whatever, like assisted, yeah,
um,
medical assisted suicide. Like there's like yeah, there is ethics with that
but
because it's
remember,
like
there was that one girl. I don't even necessarily mean like that. There was that one girl that was on trial for just kind of like pushing her boyfriend in Texas. Like she didn't kill him and she didn't help
oh
him, but she just kind of like, oh, come on, you can do it, you can do it. And she got charged. Well, I don't know if she. I think she got off on it, but she still had to go through the whole legal process.
mm,
So you would think this
yeah.
would be.
Yeah, that type of stuff. That's definitely some WPS. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we don't.
We don't
I
gotta
can't.
elaborate.
Yeah, I can't just can't imagine a brother doing that or a sister doing. I know. Yeah, ain't no black women doing
If
that.
they do, they don't got their kinfolks as friends. They do
Yeah,
not.
hell no. Or yeah, they was adopted or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
because hell no. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not voluntarily putting myself in a situation where you can literally do anything to me, but I can't do anything back to you. Like it's just fight or flight at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm
Right.
I'm gonna try to fight my way out of this until y'all hit me with a club or something like that, knock my dumb ass out, and then I'm like, you
And
know,
you're gonna wake up with all your teeth missing.
yeah, like fucked up out here. So I had to get some veneers or something like that. Um, but yeah, so that was yeah, so basically though, episode 4, Money Man, this is real. You can look it up. And there's like I said, there's a lot of extensive information that's tying a lot of people to these different crimes. So check it out. If you have a urban legend or something like that that you know that's more local and that you want to share, leave a comment down below, and we love to talk about it and kind of get into it though. So but other than that, yeah, that like that was episode 4. Happy to get into episode 5. I think that episode is called The Cursed Neighborhood. So
Yeah, it's
again,
about like a house or something.
okay, so yeah, getting into another house. So we'll see with that though. But so what else you got for us, man, before we
Okay,
before we
so
get out of here?
speaking of scary, what's more scary than the truth?
Oh,
Or what could be the truth? So I was on Kendra G's. For people that aren't familiar with Kendra G, she was a radio host and she does like a singles live. She does it on Facebook, she does it on Instagram, and she does it on YouTube. So she has people come on her platform, kind of like us, and she's like a host and she asks questions. What are you looking for? What do you know what I mean? How old are you? All of that. What's your deal breakers? All of the good stuff. So this
yeah.
lady gets on there and she's looking for someone. Now, we can't say Kendra didn't ask because Kendra asked this question. She just wasn't the lady wasn't on there to like. I think she was really looking for someone, but she shouldn't be looking for somebody. But she just got on
Oh,
there. So Ken, one of the questions Kendra asks is how many kids do you have? So she says 5, and Kendra asks the ages or whatever. So she goes on the ages and she says she has twins, but one was stolen at birth. So then Kendra's like, what? Like, you want to get into that?
what? Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Oh my
So
god.
this lady basically goes on this story and she says that she had twins at a hospital. No,
Mm-hmm.
so she says this is what she says. She said she didn't know that she was pregnant and that she had twins at a hospital She went to the hospital because she had fainted. She went to the hospital. They told her she was pregnant. They didn't tell her she was pregnant with twins, but she's seen on the ultrasound that, like, that they do the thing at the hospital, they do the ultrasounds. So she's seen that it was twins, but they didn't tell her that she was pregnant with twins. They just told her she was pregnant. So
Okay.
then and she is giving up dates. She's giving up places. She says MedStar Hospital. So she's giving up specifics, right? So she says that she was under like anesthesia and they was drugging her and they gave her one of her babies and they didn't the doctor acted like she was going to do something with the other baby and she took the baby out the room. So then she says that she wakes up. She also says that she remembers seeing Sandra Bullock at the
Okay.
hospital.
Okay.
So, and then she tells you, she's like, yeah, you can look this up. Sandra Bullock was at at MedStar Hospital this date, blah blah blah. I've seen her there. So it seemed real like it's crazy because it seems plausible. It's like, okay, like
Yeah.
so she's coming up with the assumption that they stole her baby and they gave it to Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock does have an adopted black baby. Um, their kids are supposedly 2 years apart, right? So she's saying that she had twins. So let's say let's say my twins was born in 2010. Sandra Bullock is saying her adopted son was born in 2012. But I mean, they're saying that because that's when Sandra Bullock posted a picture in 2012 saying that she had not that
Yeah.
she had the baby because she adopted. And this is a black baby. Sandra Bullock's white.
Yeah.
So but that's not something, if you don't actually see the baby, that's something. 2 years isn't that big of a difference.
Yeah.
I can
No.
have a baby 2 years ago and then just post a picture today saying, oh, I have a child now, and not show you pictures of my child. So
True.
the lady has pictures of Sandra Bullock's child and her child on the page. She says they're identical twins. That to me, people were saying they looked identical. To me, they didn't really look identical.
Okay. Okay.
The story seems very plausible. But where it gets shaky is she goes on and she says that like she used to be a chef and that she was working for a place and she did a meal and then she did a meal for the Pope. The Pope was in town. She gives us the date the Pope was in town.
Okay.
She gives us the date. So she says that she remembers seeing the Pope. The Pope complimented her on her food and she faints. And then she comes to and she still sees the Pope and they're calling the ambulance, like people are calling the ambulance and they get her. And then that's when she went to the hospital. She found out she was pregnant. She didn't know she was pregnant, which that's not far fetched because there is a whole series on I didn't know I was pregnant.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Yeah.
but this lady says she was 10 months and she was 10 months and 3 weeks, which that's a little crazy. But if you
Yeah.
didn't
Like
know
she
you
man
were
far. Like what the
right,
fuck?
but if you didn't know you were pregnant this whole time,
Yeah. Then
the
yeah.
hospital could easily not, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, especially, with irregular periods and stuff like that. So, that's the part that makes the story crazy. But the fact that, so she goes, she's name dropping. She's name dropping. She says, I got this in my notes. She says, Lorraine Gillian reaches out to her years later and she tells her, like, she basically meets with her and she's going to meet with her to give her the ultrasound pictures because they never gave her the ultrasound pictures that shows the twins. But Lorraine Gillian had kept the ultrasound pictures. Like she took it out of the file and she kept it because she felt like this was like, you know what I mean? This is my job right now, but one day it might get to me. So I might, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So the day I want to say the day before she meets, she talks to the lady that's on Kendra G's live, Lorraine
Mm-hmm.
Gillian. She talks to her. She's like, I want to meet up with you so I can give you these pictures. They didn't give you your ultrasound pictures. So I'm going to give it to you. You did have twins. So they set a time to meet up. Why does Lorraine die in her house? They find her dead in her house and she's 55. She's 55. Now, I mean,
So
that's a
ooh,
and this is a black woman
So
as
the
well.
Pope did something to knock her out because the Pope does. Maybe he has a connection with
She
Sandra
didn't say all
Bullock.
that. She just said that she remembers. But the crazy, I look up this name and they say, I look up the name, obituary comes up. It says she died in her house. It doesn't say how she died. Like this seems like now one could say if if you have mental, if you have mental disabilities that, you know what I mean, it's not hard to like look up dates but for all this to happen on the same date, the same hospitals, you're seeing this, you're seeing that. Sandra Bullock has a black adopted son. Like it just don't make sense. So then she's saying that she's had lawsuits and her lawsuits get closed. But this is the plausible part that she's just requesting a DNA test from Sandra Bullock
Yeah.
through the courts, and it gets closed out. But there's a case of Sandra Bullock suing another woman for being like a stalker. So why have you? But there's no cases of her suing this woman that has been saying for decades she stole my twin.
Mm.
So she's basically saying like, I don't have the money, I don't have the funds to fight this legal battle. Which Sandra Bullock, she makes bank. You would
Yeah.
need bank to fight that.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's like crazy. So I was in a deep dive on it. I was looking on TikTok. This lady has been telling this story for years,
Oh
decades,
wow.
2 decades. This lady has been telling
So
this
this
story.
so this kid is an adult, grown ass person.
Yes. And she also goes into depth and she says, because Sandra Bullock's son's name is Lewis. She says she doesn't allow Lewis on social media, which would make sense. Which he's not an adult yet. He's not 18. He might be
Okay.
17 or
Okay.
16.
Okay.
It's like, because like for someone to sue somebody that is a stalker, and you got this lady for 2 decades saying that you stole her baby and you were at the same hospital same time,
Yeah.
why you ain't sue her?
Yeah.
So it's like, but then it's like,
Yeah, because like she probably don't want the trail. Like she don't
yeah.
want it.
And
Yeah.
then like if you do sue her, she could easily like you're suing her. You're starting that battle. So if she wanted to do a DNA test, there's a probability that you would have to get that DNA test. But see, my whole thing is it does sound like from the outside looking in, I'm just someone that's not going to deny everything. From the outside looking in, it's like, why would you believe this? But then when you think of all the details this lady had, and you think of the fact that poor people, rich people can get away with a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They
Definitely.
they can cover their trails for a lot of things. Like look at Epstein's Island. Like they really so is it really that far fetched that they could do this to a poor black woman? All these famous white people who are adopting black kids, and is it really far fetched?
No, it's not that far fetched. What the hell is that? See, we talking about spirits, and there's something on my screen.
I see it.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
Yo, I don't know what that is, because it
It's
just
not a
came.
fly.
Oh, you know what? It's that fucking, them lantern but I think it's on my damn. Oh my god, yo, you don't know
Sandra Bullock
how
sent the lantern
fucking
bugs.
shook.
That's
I was like, what was that? But I was like, not trying to say that. Like, hold on. Yeah, I got like them. I think you gotta kill them because they turning them lantern flies, whatever. But yo, I was shook. I
okay.
was shook a little bit. I was like, "Yo, what the fuck? Why is my oh
Yeah,
shit?"
and this lady's on live now, but it's crazy. And it's like that's something you could easily like people sell kids on the black market all the time. Who do you think is going to buy a kid off the black market? Somebody
A
rich,
celebrity, yeah,
somebody rich.
somebody rich,
So,
yeah, somebody that
and
could
this lady
bury
minded,
it, bury the story.
and not to be mean, she got a fucked up wig and everything. It's easy to think, oh, this lady's crazy.
She crazy,
That's like
yep.
an easy target.
She is an easy target, yeah. But like, damn, man. Well, at least see that's the thing too. Then this is a sick joke, whatever. But at least she stole a black kid domestically. Because like I'd be like wondering, there's all these, we got a lot of black kids that are
In the
born,
United States, yeah.
yeah, like, and they don't adopt them. They adopt the kids that are in Africa, and it's like we got a shortage. I mean, there's a shortage of parents here for some of these kids. So
It's that savior complex. You'll look like a hero if you adopt someone from Africa versus the United States. You'll still
yeah.
look like a hero, but the expense.
Yeah, well, I guess maybe because if you do it here, you gotta actually steal the kid, and you know what I mean, and you gotta do all this crazy shit, whatever, and or you might end up like
Yep.
Sandra Bullock, whatever, with
This is
somebody
all allegedly, but I'm
somebody on
just
your
saying,
ass.
I'm not someone that's just gonna like put. I don't know.
Dang, I didn't know when you said something about Kendra G. I didn't. So I gotta watch this video, but like apparently somebody is like coming at her about something like about her being thirsty or something like this. So I gotta watch this video, whatever. Like somebody's trying to expose Kendra G. Like
You gotta send it to me. What is she thirsty about
I
though?
don't know. I gotta watch it. I gotta watch it. I gotta watch it.
Yeah.
So I didn't
Apparently, she's like a
even.
very prominent figure in the radio community, and because she's from Chicago, so
Yeah, yeah. So But having your kid stolen at birth, that is definitely that has to be a fear. Like that definitely has to. That's you don't
And you
want
know how many babies are still stolen at
that. Or
birth? Like they
switch, or
just
even switched. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
and they just started putting those little because I know for my first one they didn't have it, but my second one they did. It was like a little ankle monitor thing that if you get close to the door, it'll beep, so nobody can just go off with your baby. But I mean, this was you're talking 20 years, almost 20 years ago. They
yeah,
didn't have that back then. So
yeah. Well, I seen a video. Where it was like this woman, where she had a kid and she never cheated, but then the baby wasn't her or it wasn't his, whatever. Well, it came
yes,
up because the baby was stolen, but like this man had already like left her, like, and it was crazy. Like I guess he wasn't trying to find out what really happened, but she didn't find out for like a long time that the baby was stolen, and she didn't want to necessarily, because it wasn't like a even swap. Like she has this kid and she's taking care of this kid. She didn't want to like abandon this new kid. I mean, that's
wait,
not
so
really.
who stole the baby?
Well, I don't know. Like, but it was like, it was a nurse that switched the babies at birth or something like that. Like switched them around, and so the baby wasn't stolen. So everybody had a baby accounted for, but like there was the wrong baby.
I think I did see that. Yeah,
and so like so, but that's the thing. Like, you got people that are like, that work in these fields. I don't know. Yeah, like if you're a crazy person, like, granted, that's a lot of schooling to go through to like be a sinister, like a death nurse or something like that. But like,
it happens.
But
Look
it
at that
happens.
show. Yeah,
it happens. So that's frightening. That's frightening. So we'll see where they go with this next week and what this curse stuff is. And I don't know. I am looking for something like that, like some real shit, like where it's like, like, oh my god, like could you believe that? Like you say, ain't nothing scarier than the truth or whatever. So so I'm interested in that. So, but so if y'all still watching, I need y'all to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You could follow me or Jonni on Instagram, and you could see our stuff on YouTube. You could hear it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts every week. And this is another episode of 280 Plus Podcast, y'all. We out. Peace. All right, here we go.